Hey everybody, this is Steve with another episode of Keep 'em Rollin', and this is just going to be a quick recent finds video. The items I'm going to show you here I found over the last few weeks, and they were found locally. And it goes to show that stuff is still out there, and the prices were rather fair, so the deals are still out there as well. So to kick off this recent finds video, I want to start with my favorite item, and that is this statue. Now, for those of you who have watched my channel, you know that I don't actively collect Vietnam, but I could not help myself when it came to this. This is absolutely amazing. Look at the detail, ladies and gentlemen, from the drill sergeant's cap to the uniform, the whistle, the U.S. Army tape, the rank, the belt. I mean, look at that, even the buckle. And then down to the laces in the boots and the blouse trousers. It's amazing. And even better, we know who it was awarded to, a Major William F. Morris. Now, I was able to do a little research on Major Morris, and not to go into too much detail, but he basically went into the service at the tail end of World War II. He went into the maritime service in 1945. He was in for 2 years. He got out of the maritime service and he entered into the United States Army, where he became a commissioned officer and was sent over to be in occupied Germany. He separated from active duty in 1952, but he remained in the reserves. In 1967, he was recalled to active service. He was shipped to Vietnam, where he was made the Battalion Operations Officer for the Quartermaster Corps 88th Supply and Service Battalion. While he was in Vietnam, he was caught up in the Tet Offensive in 1968, and he was wounded. He stayed in pretty much after that until he retired in 1991. Working his way all up to doing stuff with the Department of Defense. So had quite an interesting career, and unfortunately he passed away a few years ago. And I think, man, it's too bad, because he would have been a fascinating person to interview and, you know, hear about all of his exploits while serving in the military. Now, I will confess that the statue here did not look like this when I acquired it. It was in rough shape. The statue itself was wobbly on the base, so it was sitting at kind of a cockeyed angle. The base itself was pretty dried out and chewed up. The plaque was so stained that you couldn't really read what was on there. So what I did is I did a little bit of restoration, and I call it sympathetic restoration. So the statue, I was able to simply tighten it down using a pair of needle nose pliers. And once that happened, I mean, you know, it changed the whole look of it. The base itself, I simply used Old English. It's a scratch cover that you can buy from your local grocery store or hardware store. It just helps kind of bring some life back to the wood, cover up any scratches. So it really cleaned that up. And then I very carefully, and I stress carefully, polished the plaque here, which brought out all of the engraving and just made it look absolutely marvelous. The statue itself, I cleaned using simply some lukewarm water, a little bit of soap. Well, hello, everybody. We have a guest visiting us today. This is Mr. Max. I know he's tried to be in other videos. He always likes to be where the action is at. Max, I might have to ask you to leave here, buddy. I know. So the statue itself, amazing, even more amazing once it's cleaned up. And the price of the statue was a grand total of $23 with tax. So, you know, just amazing find. And oh, I should point out, this is not plastic. It's not composite material. It is an actual metal statue. So this thing is incredibly heavy. So just really cool. Now moving on, we're going to have to disturb Mr. Max here. Mr. Max, you're kind of in the way here, buddy. Can I get you to move? Come on. Thank you. You can go over to the other uniform. This uniform right here, you know, I did not need to buy. It's your standard Class A 4-pocket, 4-button tunic. It's an early model. Yes? Come on, buddy. I know that you need your loving, but come on. There you go. It's an earlier model, and you can tell because it still has the brass belt hooks here for the garrison belt, if you will. The jacket, I liked it because it's double patched. You've got a really nice 20th Air Force insignia here. And then over here you have the United States Army Pacific Command. It has the correct collar brass, US and Army Air Force. They are clutch back with the correct World War II flat clutches. You have the discharge emblem here or ruptured duck. All the buttons are complete. In the pocket was this nice brass belt buckle. All we need is a belt to put that on and you're set to go. So it's not broken in any way, shape, or form. No tag in the jacket, unfortunately. The tag has been lost, so I can't put a date, but I would say this jacket is probably dated 42, 43, somewhere in there. But the reason I picked it up was the asking price was $15. And I just couldn't, in good consciousness, walk by. Good consciousness? Good conscience? Regardless, I could not walk by this jacket and leave it hanging there for $15. A little bit more with tax, but I think it came out to $15.70 or something to that effect, so under $16. So that's why I picked up the jacket. And who knows? Maybe this jacket will be part of a future giveaway. Now, the last uniform I picked up surprised me. This was at an antique shop, and it's this officer's tunic right here. It's hard to see on camera, but this is actually the M1926 officer's tunic. So this is a pre-World War II officer's tunic. One of the giveaways is the cuff stripe is that really almost gold color. Just looks odd. It's actually OD, but on camera it looks like it's actually gold. Beautiful jacket, no rips, no tears, no moth holes, and it has the insignia. What we have is second lieutenant. And these are pin-on insignia. They're snowflake pattern on the back. We have these US's, and then we have the infantry rifles. Infantry rifles are a clutch back with the correct World War II flat clutches. But these US's, this is what amazes me. Look at these. Let's see if I can get in there without getting into the light. They're little screws. I mean, the engineering to create this insignia is just amazing. Those aren't pins, they're screws. And it's a matching set. So just a beautiful, beautiful jacket. It does have the hooks here for the Sam Browne belt. And it's got a nice tag here for the maker. I also like the fact it came on a vintage hanger. When we come up here, you can see, which is kind of cool. Now, the jacket is missing one button. This pocket right here, the button is gone. This is the jacket I alluded to in my previous video where I was hoping the button was in the pocket. I didn't feel it. Bought the jacket anyways because it was still awesome. Got home, went through the pocket, and lo and behold, the button is in the pocket. Another cool thing to show you about this jacket is the jacket does have the snap downs for the pocket. So, price for this jacket right here, with tax, it was like $21. The asking price was $20 on this jacket. I was amazed. You just don't see the interwar jackets that often. So, for my three pickups, we have roughly 15, we have 20, we have 23, so you're looking at 20, 35, 45, 55, 56, 57, roughly about $58. So these three amazing items for under $60 from local antique shops. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep looking. Don't give up. Stuff is still out there, and more of it's coming out every single day. So on that note, this is Steve, reminding all of you to keep them rolling.